Welcome along then to the beautiful hills of Germany. We're here for the Formula Horizon Mercedes-Benz Grosser Preis von Deutschland of season 14. And it's here in Hockenheim, at the Hockenheim Ring in Germany. New opening graphics for this race because the last time the German Grand Prix was held was 2019. Germany shares borders with 9 other countries. It's close to Central Europe. And, well, yeah, it borders a lot of countries. 1/3 of Germany is still covered in forests and woodlands. Same forests and woodlands Hockenheim Ring used to run through in the early 2000s. Track layout, 4.5 kilometers, 2.84 miles long. Top speeds of 350 kilometers per hour with 2 DRS zones, 17 turns, elevation change of 4.4 meters, and a lap record of 1:13.7 held by Kimi Räikkönen. Here in the turn 1, we have Schumacher and Fisichella coming together. Schumacher going out of the race. His teammate Rubens Barrichello went on to win that race. Down into the hairpin, turn 6, we have Hamilton and Räikkönen going wheel to wheel, with Ricciardo also getting involved in the mix. I'm surprised Räikkönen was even ahead of a 2014 Mercedes. And here we have one that hurts me personally. Out in turn 13 in 2018, Sebastian Vettel going off, crashing into the barriers in his home race, and losing the lead of the World Championship in that day and never regained it. Here we have the 3 tire compounds, the C5 or the C6, the C5. I can't remember the 3 tire compounds, but there you go. The soft, medium, and hard tires. Only softs and mediums on the grid for this race. Let's take a look at the starting grid. However, we have Easton Bound starting on pole position alongside Isaac Spacedolf in the Red Bull. Mercedes using a new livery. Neo-Hungary starts alongside Emerald Diggy in P4, so it's Mercedes Red Bull, Mercedes Red Bull. William Epical starts a record highest for Alfa Romeo alongside Mombi Cool in the Haas. Luis I don't know starts alongside Sebastian Vettel in the changed livery of the Racing Point. Fernando Alonso starts alongside John B. Cool in P10. John B. Cool did not set a time in Q3. Alan the Alien starts alongside Dad Be Cool in the Haas, so really good qualifying for those two teams. Luna D. Darling starts alongside Zuka Boy in the Toro Rosso and Renault. Jensen Button starts 15th alongside Pierre Gasly, also in the Toro Rosso, using a new livery for this race. Nicholas Latifi starts alongside Nate Kuzunat. It's an all-Williams 9th row of the grid, with 2 drivers taking penalties, and that's Kaito 132 and Landon Kanoka, both taking penalties. And, well, Landon Kanoka didn't have a lap in qualifying. And it's lights out and away we go for the German Grand Prix. Easton Bound gets an amazing start off the line, but not as good as Isaac Spacedolf, who bolts into turn 1. And oh, he spun around. And oh, there's chaos at the back. There's chaos. Everyone's spinning and going out. Who almost crashed out in that? I have no clue. It's chaos down into turn 1. Down into turn 2. Is there going to be any chaos into turn 2? And yes, Toro Rosso's, there's a whole pileup. Oh my goodness me. That is a large pileup. Oh wow, that was a huge pileup into the first couple corners. And it seems there's some drivers stuck back at the back. No, it seems they've got going again. Easton Bound leads Emerald Diggy, leads Mombi Cool in the Haas up into P3. Neo-Hungary P4. John B. Cool up from P10 into P5. And there is the yellow Alpine Renault of Luna D. Darling. Oh, Sebastian Vettel is out of the race. Sebastian Vettel is out of the German Grand Prix on lap 1. That's tragic for the home favorite. Nate Kuzunat in the Williams. And here's Landon Kanoka going past Luis I don't know. Whew. A lot of action on this first lap. And I'm happy that we're actually getting to see what the action was instead of it just being me experiencing it. Because a whole lot of action in this race already. Going into lap 2. Easton Bound leads from Emerald Diggy. And championship leader John B. Cool is down in 5th place. Mombi Cool running in the podium places for Haas, who are running, shall we say, unique livery for this race. It's brown instead of black and brown instead of white and red. We have the Toro Rosso Pierre Gasly leading Luna D. Darling, and now we cut to John B. Cool on the attack, trying to get past Neo-Hungary, who's trying to get past down the inside. No, Landon Kanoka's flipped. Neo-Hungary, we can see he's made a move on Mombi Cool. Landon Kanoka is out of the race. He's back to the pits. Chaos in these opening laps of the German Grand Prix. As John B. Cool looking to make a move down the inside of his mother, yes, he has made the move stick. Now has Neo Hungary in his sights to extend his lead in the World Championship, trying to become the first Ferrari World Champion since Kimi Räikkönen in 2007. So, been a long time coming for the Scuderia. But two Mercedes on the podium at the team's home race. Here running along with Zuka Boy down in P14 for Toro Rosso, trying to catch up to Jenson Button and get past in the racing points. Fernando Alonso chasing down Kaito 132. Is he going to get past in turn 2? No, he is not. But he might down the... is it a turn or is it a straight? I mean, there's DRS. Use the DRS to try and get past. Nate Kuzinot is gone off the track, and it seems he is out of the race as well. And that's 3 cars out in 3 laps. So, pure chaos in the opening laps. I don't know how that happened. As John B. Cool trying to go down the inside of Neo Hungary. Has he made the move stick? I do not know. I think he has made the move stick and up into P3. As Pierre Gasly and Luna D. Darling are going wheel to wheel into that same curve. And Luna D. Darling just gets past Pierre Gasly. Took way too much curb. But Nicholas Latifi only about 2 seconds off of points for Williams. The only remaining Williams in this race hasn't scored points this season. But it looks to be a pretty solid result for Haas and Alfa Romeo. Haas running in P5 and the Alfa Romeo 6th and 9th. Here we have Neo Hungary trying to catch back up to John B. Cool, who's just starting to dart away, but he has DRS. John B. Cool does not. Down into turn 2. Does not go for a move. Here we go. Emerald Diggy just over a second behind Easton Bound. It's flat out through there. Is he going to make a move? No, he's not. As you see, Fernando Alonso getting overtaken by Kaito 132, Jenson Button getting into a scrap with Nicholas Latifi and comes out behind in the racing point. As in, I just took the Aston Martin livery and painted it pink and blue instead of green. Same with the Renault and the Alfa Romeo and the Haas. So half the grid running different liveries for this race, and well, not doing too well, most of the teams in the new liveries. I didn't change the Mercedes, though. That was just a different livery that I had. Pierre Gasly powering down the home straight into turn 1. Activates DRS. Here we have Luna D. Darling trying to get past Alan the Alien into P9 for Alpine Renault. I'm not sure what to call them in this race, Alpine or Renault, but we're just gonna stick with what it is. They're Alpine. They're pea-colored Alpine. Could try and make a move down into the hairpin. Is Luna gonna be later on the brakes? Oh, trying to make a move on his teammate. Oh, touches with their teammate. As we see Isaac Spaceoff in the background getting overtaken by Zuka Boy in the sister team, Toro Rosso, or in other races, AlphaTauri. Only 6/10 separate Emerald Diggy from Easton Bound, so pretty good scrap up in the lead. Fernando Alonso has gotten past Kaito 132, but Kaito 132 trying to scrap back through the final corner. That'd be cool, having a very stinky race in a very stinky colored car. 4 seconds off the back of the pack. But John B. Cool is out there in no man's land, 4 seconds ahead, 4 seconds behind. As Emerald Diggy trying to make a move down into the hairpin, maybe touches with Easton Bound. I don't know if they did touch, but they got really close if they didn't touch. Emerald Diggy could try and make a lunge down the inside. Ooh, he did think about it. Did not fully attempt the move. And just has to stick behind Easton Bound for at least another lap, I would say. So we have Fernando Alonso battling behind Philly Mapacal. 7 seconds from Philly Mapacal in 6th to Mombi Cool in 5th. Not a bad result. You would say, oh, screen cut out for a second. You would say Haas would be very happy with a P5, as you know, that's 10 points that they'd be getting. 11 if they get a fastest lap, but I doubt that since it's a Haas. Same with Alfa Romeo. The Alfa Romeos are probably like, all right, just hold station, stay where you are, just don't get overtaken, you know. But you know, we're under halfway through this race now. Still, anything could happen, especially going into Turkey next weekend as well. I say next weekend, next race is the Turkish Grand Prix, so exciting. Oh! Fernando Alonso and Philly Mapacal have come together. As I was just talking about how Alfa Romeo was probably scrambling to stay in position, now all of the grids getting shuffled up and held up through turn 2. That is chaos. And Philly Mapacal, and that'd be cool, Philly Mapacal running in P6 is now down in 17th. In one corner, losing 11 positions. That is tragic, but amazing for the Alpine teams. For Alpine, running in 6th and 9th now. So, the same positions that Alfa Romeo are running in, which is funny. As Isaac Spaceoff is trying to get past the McLaren of Luis, I don't know. Jean Bicou has slowly been chipping away at that gap to the leaders. Only 2.2 seconds now. Oh, is he nearly... Oh, he's got it to the wall. He's got it to the wall. Has he got it back going, though? Luckily, it's not raining conditions and he didn't beach it. But now that gap has come right back up, and Neo-Hungary is right on the gearbox of John B. Cool, the Mercedes, trying to get past the Ferrari. As he does run wide into turn 2, he's going to have to try to hold the position down this long half straight into the hairpin. It's just gonna be who's can outbrake who. And John B. Cool does manage to hold that position. Oh, gets tapped from behind by Neo-Hungary. That is tight. But it would seem the Mercedes has been beaten once again by the Ferrari. Unfortunately, that couldn't happen in 2018. But it doesn't matter, as there is still a Mercedes leading the race by 0.5 of a second. Here we have Pierre Gasly trying to get past Isaac Spaceoff. Oh, never mind. No, we don't. We're going back to the battle for the final podium position. John B. Cool trying to break the slipstream, but gives Neo-Hungary a run down into turn 1. And oh, Neo-Hungary's... Oh, as they spun. It's a bit of a half spin for Neo-Hungary, giving John B. Cool a lot of breathing room. As John B. Cool just swept around the outside, Neo-Hungary just spun. And now it would seem John B. Cool's chance of a podium, 6 seconds the gap. Or chance of a win. 6 seconds the gap to... about 7 seconds, actually, to the leader. And, I mean, they're just going to be pulling each other along, so... But there's still a lot of race left. We're only on lap 9 of 16, as... Fernando Alonso... Oh, Fernando Alonso's dropping down the order. Has there been an incident? And yes, there has. Fernando Alonso into the wall. Has he kept the engine running? Yes, he has, and he will get the car back going. That is always worrying. Lots of incidents happening down in turn 2. So we have Nicholas Latifi almost on the gearbox of Isaac Spaceoff. The Williams challenging the Red Bull. Not something that you would be expecting to see this season. But you also probably weren't expecting to see a non-AlphaTauri second team. You're probably only expecting to see AlphaTauri this season. So a bit of a fun race, shall we say, having a shaken up roster of teams. Powering around the final corner. John McCool's brought the gap down a bit. Emerald Diggy, though, is just... Ooh, they touched. They definitely touched into the hairpin. Always a good scrap, Mercedes and Red Bull. They always leave none on the table. Oh, as Isaac Spacedolf is out of the race. He's into the pits. He's out of the race. And Nicholas Latifi, as a result, has moved up into 10th and into the points-paying positions for Williams. But look at that. A horror race for William Epichouse. 12 seconds off the back of the pack. Tragic. Tragic, tragic. Nicholas Latifi, though, 6 seconds behind P9. He just has to hope and pray that no one can get past him in this race. So here we have Emerald Diggy just slowly closing in more and more on the race leader. I mean, he's pretty much on the gearbox of the race leader, but slowly trying to get into the lead of the race. As John B. Cool is also closing down that gap, only 3 seconds now. But of course, he doesn't have any DRS down any straight until he's within a second. He's the only one who follows that rule because he's the only real driver on the grid. Everyone else is programmed. So look at that, 2.5 now, the gap to Emerald Diggy. This is a good scrap for the lead. Of course, Easton Bound has started on pole and has led every single lap of the Grand Prix so far. No fastest lap, though, so it wouldn't be a 4th Grand Slam victory in a row. It's here you had the Haas, the very Lotus-looking Haas of Mombi Cool, making her way through, I believe, yeah, maybe turn 13? 1, 2... I don't know how I count. I believe turn 13. I don't have the actual track map with labeled corners. I just have to kind of guess based on the map. But here we have Pierre Gasly closing in on that final points paying positions held by Nicholas Latifi currently. Look at that. John B. Cool has closed the gap to ignore the beeping to a 10th. He's within a 10th of the front two now. Or never mind. He's falling back a bit, but he was within touching distance of Emerald Diggy. And I wish we would cut to that gap now, but this is also an interesting scrap. Scrap for the race lead and a scrap for the final points paying positions. Unfortunately, I recorded this hours ago. And the beeping has just been happening for a while. And here we have John B. Cool closing in about a second off of the race lead with little more than 4 laps to go, right? 30, 40, 50, yeah, little more than 4 laps to go. As he does run slightly wide out of the final corner. But here we have Emerald Diggy trying to close up. As John B. Cool's run wide. And he's skidded off the track, but he's still kept it going. That's not the first time in this race that he has had a bit of a mare through turn 1. But this is where it all counts. He's within a second. He'll have DRS. He'll get that boost down the... I'm just gonna Google Hockenheim track. I'm gonna see if it counts as a corner. Let's see. Yeah, the Parabolica with a K, so it does count as a corner. We figured that one out. Mostly, I love this track, but I could not remember if that counts as a corner because it is. It does. Turn 5 is the Parabolica. I was not focused on the race, so that's why there was no commentary. But 4 cars out, 4 laps to go. Less than little less than little more than 3 actually. Now we're going into the final 3 laps of the race. 7 tenths separate the top 3. John McCool will try and make a move into turn 2. Does think about going to the inside, backs out. Oh my god, why did my computer keep doing that? Sorry. Just gotta keep my mouse moving, I guess. The front 2 have touched. Emerald Diggy pretty much pushing Easton Bound through the hairpin down at turn 6. And John McCool has just closed up even more to the front 2. He could try and make a move down the inside of Emerald Diggy. He thinks about it. He's going to try it. He does not make it there. They did touch slightly. But Emerald Diggy just stays ahead of John McCool in P2. This is extremely, extremely tight racing. As we're riding on board with John B. Cool. A Ferrari driver has crashed at that corner before, not on this occasion. Through the final corner they go. John B. Cool a bit tedious on the acceleration. Out of the final corner. As John B. Cool could look to go down the inside in turn 2. Is he going to try it? He thinks about it, but does not do it. And he'll have a nice run and a nice slipstream all the way down the Parabolica and through the Parabolica, turn 5. Is he going to make a lunge down into the hairpin? No, he's not. Emerald Diggy might try a lunge down into the hairpin, though we can't see it. Emerald Diggy does try a lunge, but Easton Bound on the outside just has better traction on the racing line and maintains the lead of the race. Emerald Diggy slightly goes into the grass, and that gives John B. Cool an amazing way down the inside. They do touch as Emerald Diggy sweeps back around the outside. This is an amazing battle for the lead and for all places on the podium in this race. But that battle means Emerald Diggy is now closer to a second off of the lead of the race. As John B. Cool runs wide through turn 13. I'm going to pull up my track map again. I believe turn 13. 12, sorry. Right? No, it is 13. As here we go. John B. Cool could try and make a lunge down the inside into turn 2. Does not try it. But he'll have that slipstream. He'll have that DRS open all the way down the Parabolica. Is he going to make a lunge down into the hairpin? Turn 6. Is he going to try it? He's going to go to the inside, and he does sweep down the inside. Is he going to get past Easton Bound as well? Easton Bound trying to sweep back around the outside on the racing line. Easton Bound maintains the lead of the race, but John B. Cool has gotten up into P2, the championship leader, extending that gap. I believe if the race ends now, well, if it ends now, John B. Cool would be the winner, but Easton Bound gets back around the outside and to the inside. This is an incredible battle for the lead. You just can't take your eyes off of the race for 2 seconds without missing something. This has been an incredible scrap, this race. This is probably the best race we've seen all season so far. And where else could it have been other than Hockenheim? As Easton Bound rounds the final corner to win the German Grand Prix for Mercedes. Easton Bound wins the German Grand Prix. John B. Cool comes home in a lovely P2 for Ferrari, but there's still a lot of battling going up and down the field. Latifi in P11 behind Pierre Gasly could try and make a move. Still a good few corners left for the Williams to get ahead and into the points for the first time this season. I don't think anything's going to happen. I do not think Latifi will be able to get past, but an amazing result. P11 for Williams. From P17 on the grid to P11? Not bad at all. What a race this was. This was an amazing race.